Hello, welcome to the full moon edition of Tarot for Our Times. I'm doing an impromptu live because I couldn't quite figure out how to do the video camera. So until I get a real person tutorial instead of just a YouTube tutorial, I'll probably be doing this for a while. But at any rate, today was a very busy day for 45. I'm hoping that when the verdict came in with all of those millions of dollars in damages, that everybody had one of these, because I can't even imagine how he must have reacted to that. So apparently he is he's going to have to shell out over $83 million. And the great bulk of it is the punitive damages. So what I would like to do reading on is what the jury decisions means, and what this could, if this is setting a trend for the other cases that he may have coming up. So I would really like to see if this is the beginning of his accountability. So we will just check this out and see. So, okay, so what we have here, let's see if that Teflon is starting to chip off the Dawn a little bit. So let me put this down here so we can, okay, that's for later. Okay, so, oh boy, the card we have here is the infighting, which was something I was thinking of maybe for the reading that I would be doing later about what's going on with the immigration bill and this sort of thing. But I think what this is telling me is this could be the the beginning of a lot more infighting in the Republican Party. I don't think anybody's going to say anything publicly, but I think they're starting to maybe wonder a little bit. So that could be one thing leading into the other. So, wow, can't make this stuff up. It's crossed with the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. And this is a message for money. I would say that with this, it's telling me that he's going to have to shell out, and that the message could also mean that, and the knights can be warriors too. They bring messages, and they're warriors, is saying, you're not going to get out of it this time. I could see that there would be some sort of person appointed to take a look at all of his assets and properties, and maybe kind of like doing that manager thing when people declare bankruptcy, that sort of thing. So let's see what's going to happen. But this is going to be causing a lot more discard. So I'm going to put down some more cards with the standard deck. Oh, here we go. I'm going to say that he was living in a world of fantasy with all of his enablers around in the past, just thinking that he was going to be getting away with this forever. There will be no rest for the wicked, so to speak. I think that this could be the waking up and the realization that he may not be getting away with stuff anymore. Whoa, the off balance of the money. That I will have to say that I can't believe that in depositions, I guess he just can't help himself. That in the depositions that that he bragged about having a lot more money and being worth a lot more. So now there's going to be a lot that has to be balanced with him, his accountants, and that even with the donations, I'm seeing that they're going to have a difficult time. That this is telling me that he's not going to be able to pay off any of those things unless some of his assets are sold off. So then we have here the Queen of Pentacles, which I'm going, and she's upright, which I'm going to say that going from one court case to another with the Letitia James thing, that they may have to kind of cooperate and get together so she can start, because he's going to be owing the state of New York a lot of money. So I'm seeing her playing a part in this. And I really do believe, let's see, the world in reverse is telling me that there's a lot of unfinished business with his finances that he's going to have to clear up. I'm going to say, I do not envy her. I do not envy this judge and whoever he has to appoint to take care of the finances, because it's going to be like they're wandering through a swamp of God only knows what. So I think that his walking away from this sort of thing, that's coming to an end. He's going to try, but I really see this as not only it's very important for the Me Too movement and women, women being assaulted, that sort of thing. But this is really telling me that I did this. I always forget to do this. I think that there's a very important element of his being demasculated, because he and so many people of his type really have their masculinity tied up with their bank account, their finances. It's really powerful. So I'm seeing all of this as the beginning, pretty much the beginning of the end of his being able to get away with stuff. But there's another thing. In light of all of this, I've heard he's flying right out to a campaign event, which is asking me, is he going to be able to keep his mouth shut? Because one would think that for self-preservation, because he's going to be hemorrhaging money with this, that I know it'll be a big pity party fundraising thing, but then I also have to ask myself, he's so out of control. Is he going to be able to keep his mouth shut to prevent more lawsuits from happening? So let's see. I kind of know the answer to that, but I on the other hand, I can't believe anybody could be that foolish. Well, that's why it is the full moon. So here we have, okay, oops. So as far as keeping his mouth shut, we have the Hanged Man, which tells me that for perhaps a very short while, he may be I think that there are going to be some advisors and people like that are going to be reading him such a big riot act that maybe for a brief amount of time he might. I don't know about that, so I think I'm going to need to see what energy is crossing this guy here. So let's see here. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups in reverse, which may be telling me that the energy is that reality may be starting to come in as far as his money goes, and that that he may, and I'm going to say this could be very, very short-lived, that he's really going to be depending on his donors and that sort of thing. But the cups are in reverse, and that's this is kind of like the loss of good precious goods and properties and peace, and I mean, all like how you burn the house down and all this emotional stuff going on that he has tied with his fortune, that he may just have his pity party, but leave her out of it for right now. I find that hard to believe, but the cards are what they are. But this is telling me this is probably just a brief pause. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. So in the past, we have the world is upright. Oh, good, we can see it. Oh, we've got the Hanged Man again. And the Six of Cups in reverse. So what this is telling me is that this portion, this, at least for right now, because I mean, with him, you have to go day by day. I would say for right now, there's something about this that has been that it's been finished, it's been complete. He may not see it that way, but it has. It has pretty much. This is about her, her winning the case in itself, that she wasn't lying. This is about maybe taking the Hanged Man is sort of like taking that brief pause, but then there's that whole thing that he's got to go back and change the past. I mean, nobody can go back and fabricate a fiction of the past the way that he does. So I would say that the hangman, I think, represents the time, the which wasn't that long, the time maybe from June until recently, when they had to, when they had to do this again for the slander. But he's going back, and he's been going back and say you didn't know her, the whole thing, and that it never happened, and all this sort of thing. Total fantasy, because this is upright and in reverse. I mean, this is okay. So for the present, oh boy, this is very female energy. He's going to be crying like a woman over this. And I would say that he is just going to be in the biggest pity party, trying to fundraise off of this whole thing. And he may say he may have to guard his words. I mean, for maybe tonight, and it won't last any longer than that. But he will be maybe about, I think what this is telling me is that maybe he's going to be all about, it's the court system, it's Biden, it's this and that. But there's going to be a lot of things. The wheels are in motion right now. The decision has been made. The money has been specified. So what this is telling me is that things are going to really start happening. So in the future, oh, the truth comes out. More truth comes out. Oh boy, these are not good for him. I somehow look at all of this as kind of like that it's very possible that this could be opening kind of the floodgates of what could possibly be happening for what's coming up. And not only the civil cases, but also in the in the criminal cases too. So more, and if you look at my thumbnail, with I have his photo implanted on the moon, which is all about the subconscious and all kinds of crazy things that what that's telling me is like a lot of his secrets the things that we didn't know about are going to be coming out, which is really going to be putting him in a major, he's the page of wands in reverse, which is, if you think he's been acting like a child, the playpen has only been opened up now. You're going to see very unhinged. That's why I'm thinking this kind of stuff not going to last long. And I get a sense that he's not, except for those weird adult sons of his things are not going too well family wise. And I look at the 10 of cups a little bit differently than most readers, because I'm seeing this as the illusion that everything is a lot more wonderful than it is. Like the rainbows never go away. Well, we know that rainbows are very fleeting. So I'm going to say that he maybe to cope, he will be going into some kind of fantasy land, and that whole thing with loving his mother-in-law and all this sort of thing. I think that's kind of part of it, although I really get a sense that his family life with his wife and everything and his daughter is absolutely, it's really in shambles. So, I would say expect incredibly childish behavior. Now, I don't know if they're going to put a gag in his mouth or something, but he cannot afford to litigate the E.J. Carroll. He's got to give that up. And maybe with this judgment, but I think it'll be short-lived. The guy has a attention span of a gnat, So, okay. So, all righty. So I'm going to do a very quick read on the his kind of ordering the Senate to not pass that immigration bill that fulfills all their needs. I get a sense, for once, I'm agreeing with the latest thing from the pundits, is that this is not working out as he planned, and that I'm getting a sense of the Mitch McConnells and the other people may really have buyer remorse. And I can't help but to wonder if seeing him lose in a court case like this today, I mean, the reality, I feel as though it is starting to sink in. And I do believe that along with this is going to be that they're going to be squabbling. For the ones that want to pass it, the ones that don't, they're really going to be squabbling. So I'm going to do a very quick read on what the mood of the Republicans are. Not even like yesterday or 5 hours ago, but now that news is hit, what is their mood as far as their bending their knee to their orange king? So let's see what we have here. The King of Swords. Oops, the King of Swords with the truth. Okay. The King of Swords, boy, oh boy, that I have to say, that is the front and center thing today. So, and that's the court, that's the lawyers, that's the judge. So this is definitely what happened today, and that it's kind of like the big elephant, so to speak, purple with pink polka dots, sitting in the middle of the room right now. So let's see what energy we have with this. 10 of Swords in reverse. This is telling me that a number, I don't know what they're going to be saying publicly, but what I'm seeing with this is that I think quite a few of them are the ones that maybe the MAGAs they're not a very big majority, but what I'm going to say is that the MAGAs that the sort of like the MAGA lights, or the ones that are just kind of afraid of him, or kind of moderate, but without, a backbone to stand up to him, that not the Mitt Romneys or anybody like that, but I'm going to say the ones kind of like the fence ones going on. I think there are a number of them that are realizing that they've really been stabbed in the back. So now it's time to kind of rise above that, do a little bit of healing, and to see what happens here. Okay. In fact, it's funny because I'm seeing 10 of swords. Let's see, was it the house? Is it the house, or is it the Senate? I think maybe, let's see what we have here. Yeah, coming right under this, I'm feeling as though there could be some people finding some strength to maybe defy him. Oh, the hermit. Some of them realizing that they're not alone, but they've really been living in the dark. I'm going to say, this is a matter of choice. There are a number of them that have a choice to not be bullied by him, to let the government work, to pass the immigration bill. Ukraine needs money so that we have the Wheel of Fortune and in reverse. And what this is saying, that with the devil on top, and the devil is a card in the tarot, is that this is the devil. This is Trump has been calling the shots. So now they're really forced to take a look at this. They may be hearing from their constituents saying, if you want to be elected the next time, you have, whether they're Republican or Democrats and not MAGAs, they're going to say, you're not going to be very lucky in your next election if you don't pass this bill and the others, which is really important to us and the rest of the world, because people are dying in Ukraine and the blood is on his hands. So let's see, we have coming up here. I'm going to say that there could be a realization that maybe they're carrying a burden that they don't need to be carrying, that maybe this isn't major rocket science to figure this out. So it's interesting. I think what this is telling me, they're really at a kind of a point where they've got to make a decision. So let's see if I can find a conclusion for this card. Strength. Isn't this interesting? This is very interesting. This is the crisis point they're at. This really is. They have a choice to whether they're going to be really strong and think about the country that they serve, or are they going to be weak and cave in and be absolutely mediocre people? So I'm going to say this could be the beginning of a very, very crucial point here. So it should be interesting to see in the next few days over the weekend if some of these people that have been really wanting to step up are in fact finally going to step up. So the last point that I want to get to, and it seems that my colleagues and another number of people on the internet have been really pondering the question of, is the former stencher of the Oval Office infected with syphilis or not? Now, a lot of his quacky behavior could be saying, it could be, but then there's a lot of other things that say, well, maybe it isn't. So I want to see what my divining tool is to answer that question. And no, it's not going to be tarot cards or a pendulum. But what about a flip of the coin? Let's see. What about a flip of the coin? Okay. Heads, he's got it, and tails, he doesn't. So let's see. We have details, he doesn't. So I guess that puts that whole issue to rest. At any rate, the big burning issue of the day. But I don't think you have to have syphilis to be as wacky and crazy and as unhinged. So at any rate, I'm going to end this now. So and of course I will be posting this very soon. So everybody have a nice weekend, and I would say hit the news once in a while because it's better than any soap operas that we have watched. So I'm going to sign off for now. Bye.